Please. We are ready this morning. Please stand for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you. You may be seated. Good morning to all of our guests, friends, family members, faculty, staff, and most importantly, good morning to all the graduates of University of the Potomac. My name is Andrea Kemp Curtis, President of University of the Potomac, and it is my distinct privilege to announce the opening of the 2025 University of the Potomac Commencement Ceremony. To assist in this monumentous occasion, it is my honor and privilege to be joined on stage by Lieutenant Commander Eric Kemp, who will assist in acknowledging our military students.
Good morning. After serving 34 years of military service, it is an honor and a pleasure to be here and to provide support for our military personnel. I am here to acknowledge you for your service and dedication. You will notice the red, white, and blue Aeromonica card being worn by some of our graduates and university faculty. These cords identify our active military and veteran students that are graduating today. And the esteemed faculty seated to my right by the flag, that they vow to honor, protect, and serve. Will our graduating military and veteran students please stand? Will all the veterans and members of our military seated in the audience please stand? Will the distinguished veterans and military members and the faculty staff please stand? Thank you, sir. Again, please join me in recognizing and thanking these individuals for their service to our country. At this time, I will pin our military students. Mr. Graham, would you please stand? Anyone in the back, too? All right. Last but not least, say the best for last, right? Question, Mr. Pink? Okay. Lost your mind, huh? I understand. That's okay. I forgive you. Congratulations. All right. Thank you. You may be seated. Madam President, for the honor of recognizing these brave men and women of the services, I would like to say thank you. And now I'm going off script. So if you haven't noticed, Madam President, that's my sister. To see her up here and the things that she has done is truly amazing. It is a blessing, and I'm so proud of you. I love you.
Good job. At this time, I want to introduce the members of the University of the Potomac community seated on stage. As I call your name, please stand and remain standing. I ask that you hold your applause until all individuals have been introduced. Members of the Board of Directors for University of the Potomac. Chairman John Danielson. Honor and Trustee Oksana Melisheva. Trustee Barbara Burchett. Trustee Rod Satterwhite. Trustee Patricia Potter. Trustee Arnie Sherman. Trustee Glenn Austin. Trustee Marcus Goodwin. Dean of Academic Operations, Dr. Sergey Andronikov. Dean of Assessment and Program Development, Dr. Svetlana Metareva. Director of Online Studies, Dr. Yvonne Hood. Chief Compliance Officer, Camilla Merrows. Chief Financial Officer, Garrett Mushaw. Alumni Association Representative, Dr. David Kimball. The 2025 Class Valedictorian, Alberto Corchada. The 2025 Graduation Speaker, Mr. Stedman Graham. I also want to recognize our distinguished university professors and leadership team, both on stage and in the overflow. Will each of you please stand and be recognized? Please join me in recognizing our graduation speaker and these outstanding members of University of the Potomac community. You may be seated. Sergey.
Hello, graduates. How do you feel? Whoa. Okay, while all of our graduates could not attend today's celebration, I'm pleased to announce that in 2024-2025 academic year, we have a total of 363 graduates. They're representing 40 countries, 63 completing their Associate of Science degrees, 57 completing their Bachelor of Science degrees, 238 completing their Master's degree, and 5 completing their doctoral degree. And graduates, as we prepare to honor the hard work, dedication, and perseverance, that's very important, of your graduating class, we would be remiss if we didn't acknowledge the support provided to you by 2 very special groups of individuals. First, we would like to acknowledge and recognize your parents, spouses, partners, siblings, and relatives of our graduates. At this point, I would like you to stand and to be recognized. Please stand up to be recognized. Please stand for a sec. Without any question, you've been an important anchor to support our graduates. You have always been there and available during both the good times and during times of struggle. And the second group of people we recognize, it's all your friends of our graduates. We are grateful for your support and the assistance you have provided to our graduates. And we know that today is also a very important day for you. Please, friends, stand to be recognized as well. The success of our graduates is in large part due to your continuous love and support. We recognize all that you have done and all that you will continue to do in the lives of our future alumni. And today, we all applaud your unwavering support, and we say thank you. Thank you very much. And now to you, graduates, to you, the graduating class of 2024-2025. Through your educational experience in Potomac, you have acquired the knowledge and critical thinking skills needed to make a positive difference in our global society. What lies behind you and what lies in front of you pales in comparison to what lies inside of you now. This is the quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. As you leave University of the Potomac, we know that your achievements have well prepared you to make your important mark for the better of our ever-changing world. Thank you.
At this time, I would like to introduce Dr. David Kimball. Welcome him to the stage to provide some remarks on behalf of University of Potomac's Alumni Association.
Thank you, Madam President. Graduates, families, faculty, and friends, good morning. Graduates, take a deep breath. Think about what it took to get here. Balancing job schedules, family matters, endless assignments and group projects, and at least one late Sunday night assignment submission. You did all that and more. You didn't just make it, you grew, you adapted, you thrived. At the University of the Potomac, we don't just hand out degrees. We build dreamers, doers, and difference makers. Some of you are the first in your family to graduate. Others return to school after many years. All of you pushed forward with grit, grace, and maybe a little caffeine. Let me share 3 quick truths. First, success isn't about failing, it's about rising wiser. Second, this degree isn't just a piece of paper, it's proof that commitment beats comfort. And third, kindness matters in meetings, emails, and life. Never underestimate it. And now the big moment. Today, you officially become part of the University of the Potomac alumni family. And all we ask is that you stay connected and share your University of the Potomac story. In closing, congratulations, class of 2025. Go forward with courage, curiosity, and confidence. Once a trailblazer, always a trailblazer. Thank you, and let's celebrate your success.
At this time, I invite Trustee Oksana Melsheva to the podium to offer remarks on behalf of University of Potomac's Board of Directors.
Well, good morning, graduates. And good morning to your families, to your loved ones, to everyone that built you up so that you'd walk up on the stage in a few short moments. They offered encouragement, they brewed those gallons of coffee that took you through the finals, perhaps bought the pounds of chocolate. They may have been some of these professors that graded you harshly because they knew that you could do better. But then they showed you exactly how. All of you built you up to this moment. Today, 363 of you will walk the stage. And that is maybe a few less because not everyone could be here, but that's 363 stories of people that balance their full-time jobs and going to school in the evenings, where being full-time parent and full-time student, served in the military, thank you for your service, literally crossed oceans to be here and get this degree. So I tell you with confidence that you guys are not the class of comfort. Class of 2025, you are the class of courage. And if you do not yet believe that, wait until you hear our valedictorian story, because he truly and fully exemplifies that. And it is always very humbling and I would say nerve-wracking to deliver this address on behalf of the Board of Trustees, for which I'm very grateful. It is my absolute joy and privilege to say congratulations. They've asked to share a bit of my story and a lesson because there are a few journeys. I've been a Board of Trustees for more than 20 years right now, and I've seen many of you graduate. I think this is the bigger graduating class than the size of the school when we first joined. So there's a lot of people that build this university, and I'm very grateful for the staff, for the president, for the leadership of the board. You have some extraordinary people that are holding watch behind the scene. When you're not seeing them, they're working to make sure that you could walk the stage today. Thank you. So here's the story. And I think this is a bit part of my journey, a little bit of the insight, because before I was Dr. Oksana Melsheva, before I was trustee of the University of the Potomac, before I was a venture capitalist in Austin, Texas, as you probably have guessed by now, by my accent, this is not a Texas drawl you're hearing. I grew up in Kiev, Ukraine, and I was a quintessential physics nerd. I'm one of those crazies that really preferred, for sure, to tackle difficult physics problems and math problems on Friday evening when normal people went to the movies. And my dream was to be scientist, to get my PhD, to push the science forward. And I've graduated from the best physics school in the former Soviet Union. And then the world crumbled around me. My country was no more. There was literally no electricity to power the lab. And my dream was to still get to the PhD. And this was one of the second years that it was possible just to go take on the plane and apply to the school in the United States, which I did. At the end of the story, graduated from UPenn with a PhD in physics, but there were a lot of challenges. Let me list a few. So I've talked to you about the geopolitical calamity, the visa calamity. There was also not a small matter of financial things, because what stood between me and my dream was the fact that my stipend was $4 a month, and my professor dad at the time was making $40 a month. That's the real numbers, I'm not exaggerating. And to get to the degree, you have to take GRE and TOEFL that cost $120 and $40 respectively. And if you get through the exams and you be lucky to apply, then there are application fees to every universities. So I was in despair, and then I thought, okay, let's be creative here because there was nothing I could do to lose. So I wrote a short letter in English. I translated with certified notary because no one in my dean's department spoke English. The letter read something like this. This is to certify that Oksana Malasheva has a 4.0 GPA and indeed her monthly income is $4. If you consider postponing her application fee, you will not regret it and she will pay you back when she gets into school. I've gotten about 40 of those and I sent to all sorts of schools and a few Ukrainian charities along the way. And while I was praying for the miracle, I cut up my History of the Communist Party textbook into the flashcards on which I was studying like a maniac the English words. I was doing them as eating my oatmeal in the morning because that's all I could afford. When I was riding a metro, people thought that I was deranged, and they're probably right, because that's how hard I was willing to work for my dream, hoping that while I was hoping it would come, I was acting like it's already happening. And the universe turned around. I'm sharing this. There is a lot of grit and honestly sheer dumb belief that I had at this moment in time as my 20-year-old self. But mostly what I didn't realize is this was preparing me for my life as a venture capitalist. I'm not just a physicist. I did not just graduate with PhD in physics from UPenn. I actually get to write checks and support other people's baddest, boldest dreams right now. And what makes my profession very different from a lot of other professions is, in most instances, your biggest mistake is that mistake of commission. You do something wrong. While in my profession, the biggest mistake actually is a mistake of omission. If you do not have a courage to take that first step, to take that crazy belief, you will not succeed. And that is extremely unnatural. It actually takes a lot of training and mental work to keep continuously asking not what could go wrong, but what could go right. And that story of how I was planning to get to my PhD despite all odds was my first lesson in acting as what could go right. So here's your final assignment, class of 2025. It will not be graded. It will certainly not affect your GPA. Those have been set in stone. But what I would love for you to do, carve the time on your calendar. You could make it once a week, make it once a month. The most important thing, make it. And ask yourself, without any constraints, not what could go wrong and why you could not do this, but what could go right. Dwell on this. Envision yourself over here. Figure out the bridge that you're going to build to get from here where you are to where you want to go. Forget about restraints. Be a little bit deranged in your brain. That's okay. Let other people call this hilarious, impossible, strange. That is not their dream. That is your dream. And now when you see this, figure out What bridges do you need to build? Sometimes this is the knowledge. And if that's the knowledge, come back for another degree to University of Potomac. Sometimes it's in networking. You might need to know the people you don't know yet. You might need to observe them, and due to the proliferation of social media, you would actually see them. You may need to train yourself to behave in a different way so that you could become that new version of yourself. But you're gonna dream about this, and when you make that space in your life to consistently think what could go right for you, you will not just live in this world. Will you reshape it? You will make what was impossible, what was the fiction that was just a whim in your head, you will make that a reality. And you will get to stay maybe on the stage, maybe around the dinner table, and tell someone else not to ignore what could go wrong, absolutely think and problem solve for that, but absolutely make sure that you take some time to think about what could go right in your world. And as I leave you here, this is my last words, class of 2025, you did it. You did it, you're victors today, and we, as a part of the team of Potomac, we cannot wait to see what could go right for you. Thank you.
At this time, we welcome Dr. Svetlana Medvedeva to the podium. We're going, just reading. To here.
Hello, guys, congratulations. At University of the Potomac, we strive for academic excellence. It is my honor to recognize all graduates who have performed at the highest level throughout their studies. These include students graduating cum laude, magna cum laude, and summa cum laude. Students graduating cum laude have achieved grade point averages between 3.65 and 3.79. Students graduating magna cum laude have achieved grade point averages between 3.8 and 3.89. Students graduating summa cum laude have achieved grade point averages between 3.9 and a perfect 4 points. Master students that have achieved a grade point average between 3.9 and 4 points are recognized as distinguished. Will each of these groups of students please stand and be recognized? Please. Thank you. You may be seated. Now, it's my pleasure to share the stage with Dr. Sergey Andronikov to introduce the 2025 valedictorian.
All right, graduates. So, valedictorian. Well, the representative of this class of 2024-25. University of the Potomac is honored to introduce this year's valedictorian, Mr. Alberto Corchado. Alberto has achieved remarkable academic success, earning a Bachelor of Science degree in Government Contract Management. Without further ado, it is with great pleasure that I present to you your 2025 University of the Potomac valedictorian, Alberto Corchado.
where do I begin? Let's go from the beginning. When I got that phone call and they said, hey, congratulations, you have been chosen to be our valedictorian. And I go, nah, you got the wrong person. I said, all I wanted to do was just graduate. So I don't know how I ended up here, but here I am. So, good morning, esteemed faculty, proud families, honored guests, and most importantly, my fellow graduates of the University of Potomac, class of 2025. So I'm going to go off a little bit off script because my dad and my mother couldn't be here today. So I will switch a little bit in Spanish. Mom, papi, lo hice. Gracias. Y como todo, gracias a Dios. All right, gotta suck in the tears. So today, I stand before you not just as a student, but as a father, a husband, a soldier, and a man that after 26 years away from the classroom, decided that it was time to go back. Not because it was easy, but because it mattered. For me, this journey was not just only about earning a degree. It was about showing my children, Tito, Willie, yeah, sorry. No. That learning does not expire with age, that dreams don't have a shelf life, and that it's never too late to grow, evolve, and to fight for something better. I wanted to be the role model that doesn't just talk about possibilities, but is living proof of them. Now, let me be real. It wasn't easy. Balancing the demands of being a full-time student while serving as a non-commissioned officer in the United States Army, that's not a typical course load. There were late nights, early mornings, missed moments, and many days when quitting felt easier than getting to the finish line. This is the part right here. Yeah. And on those days, when the weight felt too much to carry, I had someone by my side who never let me forget why I started. My wife, Jessica. Your belief in me kept me going. Your strength became my strength. This degree might have my name on it, but it carries your fingerprints all over. Thank you. All right, here we go. Got that part of the way. To my fellow graduates, some of you came straight from high school, some returned after years away, but all of us had our own battles to fight. Yet here we are. You're proving that resilience beats convenience, and that courage is a daily choice, and that success is earned one sacrifice at a time. To our professors, thank you for your patience, your mentorship, and dedication. You provided us with more than just knowledge. You equipped us with tools to change our lives and the lives of others through your teachings. To our families, thank you for holding all together while we chase our goals. You are the quiet strength behind every loud success, and we recognize the sacrifices you made for us. To the Potomac Administration and Student Services, oh yeah, you know. I was calling every day. Your behind-the-scenes efforts, from processing transcripts to assisting with registration, have made significant difference in our Your encouragement instilled confidence and helped us feel we belong here. We are truly grateful for your role in making the impossible feel possible. Class of 2025, Wherever life takes you next, whether it's continuing your education, starting a new career, or creating change in your community, remember this moment. Remember what it took to get here, and never forget that your journey, your story, your voice, they all matter and will continue to shape the world around you. Remember, we're not defining how we start, but how we finish. It is not just about our personal achievements, but also about how we lift others as we rise and flourish. This is the power of resilience, and it's what has brought us here today. I will end with this quote. The biggest adventure you can take is to live the life of your dreams. Miss Oprah Winfrey. Congratulations, class of 2025. We did it. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Alberto. Thank you. Okay, it's now my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker. Mr. Stedman Graham is a business advisor, chairman and CEO of Graham & Associates, a management and marketing consultant firm. He is the author of 12 books, including 2 New York Times bestsellers and 1 Wall Street Journal bestseller. As a businessman, educator, and speaker, Mr. Graham lectures and conducts training programs for corporations and educational organizations worldwide on the topic of identity leadership, based on the philosophy that one cannot lead anyone else until you first lead yourself. Think about it. He has delivered identity leadership programs in the Netherlands, Belgium, Germany, China, Canada, the United Kingdom, Bermuda, and South Africa. Stedman Graham has served in the United States Army and played professional basketball in the European League with a height like this, right? You have to. He holds a bachelor's degree in social work from Harding-Simmons University and a master's degree in education from Ball State University, and has been awarded 3 honorary doctorates, serves on several boards, and has received numerous awards. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming Mr. Stedman Graham.
Hello, everyone. To the President, Andrea Kemp Curtis, faculty, Board of Trustees, alumni, parents and family, friends and supporters, we congratulate the class of 2025. You know, throughout my years of living, I have learned that leadership is everything. And I have dedicated my life to teaching identity leadership, which is self-leadership based on the philosophy that you cannot lead anyone else until you first lead yourself. You can't drink from an empty cup. You can't give what you don't have. And you cannot lead yourself until you first know who you are. You see, when you don't know who you are, wow, you get frustrated and mad because you can't reach your capacity, you can't reach your potential as a human being. When you don't know who you are, you're never able to self-actualize your talents, your skills, your abilities, your passion, and your purpose. When you don't know who you are, it's really hard to realize your dream. D.H. Lawrence, an English poet, wrote something about dreams. He says, all people dream, but not equally. Those who dream in the dusty recesses of their minds, they wake in the morning to find that it was vanity. But the dreamers of the day, wow, they are dangerous people, for they dream their dreams with open eyes, and they make them come true. When you don't know who you are, wow, and I think that represents probably about 8 billion people who don't know who they are pretty much lost. They wake up in the morning, they wash their face, they brush their teeth, they get something to eat, they get the kids off to school, they work all day, they come home in the afternoon, they spend time with the family, they watch TV, they go to bed, maybe they dream next Monday. When you don't know who you are, on Tuesday, you wake up in the morning, you wash your face, you brush your teeth, you get something to eat, you get the kids off to school, you work all day, you come home in the afternoon, you spend time with the family, you watch TV, you go to bed, maybe you dream next Tuesday. And then all over the world, when you don't know who you are on Wednesday, you wake up in the morning, you wash your face, you brush your teeth, you get something to eat, you get the kids off to school, work all day, come home in the afternoon, you spend time with the family, you watch TV, you go to bed, maybe you dream. That's Wednesday. And Thursday, what do when you don't know who you are? You wake up in the morning, you wash your face, you brush your teeth, you get something to eat, you get the kids off to school, work all day, come home in the afternoon, spend time with the family, you watch TV, you go to bed, maybe you dream. That's Thursday. And on Friday and on Saturday, you wash, you clean up, you get the kids off to activities. Saturday night, you go out maybe to dinner. Sunday, a lot of people go to church and they eat chicken dinners in the afternoon, and they get ready for work on Monday. And they work and work and work and work, and they look back after about 40 years, they said, you know what, I've been working so hard. I have no more in the end than I had in the beginning. So if you did the same thing you did yesterday, as you will do today, as you will do tomorrow, what have you done, graduates? The answer would be nothing, because you've done it already. And so what's the missing piece for most people? Stuck, doing the same thing over and over every single day. They forget to T-H-I-N-K. They forget to think, develop, build, create, and design their own future. And they go to school sometimes, not you, but oftentimes education teaches you how to memorize and take tests, repeat the information back, you get labeled with a grade. 2 weeks later, if I asked you what you learned, what would they say? What would the students say? Nothing. I forgot. So if you're doing the same thing over and over every single day, which is nothing, everything you learn, you forget, which is nothing. Nothing from nothing is nothing. So the most important question, if you get this, this is the gift. The most important question anyone will ever ask you is that, do you know who you are? And that's a blessing. And when you don't know who you are, the world says to you, well, you're not really doing a lot. You're not growing. You're not building. You're not creating. You're not designing your own future. So I have to control you and tell you everything to do. And the world defines you when you don't know who you are, and defines you by your house and your car and your race sometimes. I had a race-based consciousness, focused on race, and I thought it was about the color of my skin. And I worked for this guy named Bob Brown. We were traveling all around the world, and I realized that people of color all around the world were making things happen, and I realized that my problem was I didn't know who I was. And when you don't know who you are, the world defines you by your gender, and it tells women you can't make it because it's a man's world. No, you really can't make it because you don't know who you are. And sometimes you're defined by your family, and I was defined by my family. I grew up with 2 special need brothers in my family, which is a very difficult thing to do. I grew up with low self-esteem and a lack of confidence in myself. And I had a lot of anger and rage. And you don't know this, but I worked in the prison system for 5 years. I didn't say I was in the prison system for 5 years. I worked in the prison system for 5 years, but there's no question I would have been a prisoner in that system with all the anger and rage that I had. And all of us have defining moments, and what saved me from destroying myself was I was a basketball player. And basketball gave me enough self-esteem to believe in myself. And I'm in this small town, grew up in a small town. It's about 1,800 people. That's a small town. And it's really a small town when you only have one store in your town. And I'll tell you this story. I was about 14 or 15 years of age in this small town. The guy that owned the store, his name was Mr. T.A. We used to always hang out at Mr. T.A.'s. We're going to hang out at Mr. T.A.'s. So we're down at Mr. T.A.'s one Saturday morning. I'm a bragger. I love to brag. I'm going to college. I know I'm going to college because I'm getting all these scholarship offers. Pretty good ball player, basketball player, if you let me tell it. And I'm in this store, and Mr. T.A.'s behind the counter. And this is my time to brag to Mr. T.A. And through my life, I have been jumped on and beat up and called names because of my brothers. And so I had a lot of pain and trauma growing up. But this was my time to brag to Mr. T.A. So he's behind the counter. I walk up to Mr. T.A. and I say, Mr. T.A., guess what? I'm going to college. And I'm thinking Mr. T.A. is going to say, son, we are so proud of you. You're going to college. You got out of this town. Mr. T.A. looks at me, and I never will forget that look, and he says to me, he says, you're not going to no college. Your family's too stupid, and you're too dumb. And I was really taken back. I mean, this is a guy I admired all of my life, owns the only store in town, says to me, you're not going to no college, your family's too stupid, and you're too dumb. And I was sad for a long time, and I remember one day walking down the street going home, and I stopped in my tracks, and I got mad. And I said to myself, I'm going to fix you, Mr. T.A. I'm going to get you back. I'm going to college, and I'm going to get my degree, and I'm going to bring it back to you. And I'm going to show you that I'm somebody. Finally went to college. That was a great day. On the basketball team, got a scholarship. Wow. We'd be on a road trip all week long. I remember distinctly coming back 11:30 at night, tired. Everybody would have their clothes on their back. They'd throw their clothes down on the floor and go to bed except me. I'd stay up all night long studying for that test. I didn't care about basketball. Only thing I cared about is I had to get that degree and bring it back and show Mr. T.A., Mr. T.A., I'm somebody. Well, finally graduated. Man, that was a great day. I don't know if I learned anything, but I got that degree. And then after I got that degree, I said, you know what? I'm not finished with you yet, Mr. T.A. I'm going to go get my master's degree. Went and got my master's degree, served in the U.S. Army. Worked in the prison system, transferred through the prison system to Chicago, to Chicago from Denver. Met a woman in Chicago, might have heard of her, one of the greatest communicators in the world, named is Oprah. And I'm in a relationship with a very powerful woman, and every time I step out the door, people define me by my relationship, and you lose your identity. You understand why I teach this, right? And so I realized if you're looking for freedom, ladies and gentlemen, wow, you'll never find it on the outside. Freedom is only on the inside. It's not how the world defines you. It's another thing I learned. It's only important how you define yourself. And whoever you turn your power over to, you will always define you as less than them. So you can never turn your power over to somebody else to determine your potential as a human being. And I wrote about a 9-step success process, which I'll share with you quickly because I know we don't have a lot of time. And I realized that if you want to self-actualize your potential, man, if you're looking for freedom, you got to find it on the inside, not on the outside. And the first step starts with check your ID. You have to have an identity. And your identity should be based on the most powerful word in the world. If you get this word, you'll never be average. It's the most powerful word in the world. Most powerful word in the world is spelled L-O-V-E, love. Boy, if you could just take a piece of paper, students and graduates, and write down everything you love in your life. And then take everything you learn, take the iPhone, all that information, everything you read, everything you can organize. Order is the highest level of development. And make that information relevant to everything you love so you have a foundation for learning, developing, building, and creating based on your passion, based on your purpose, and based on who you are. And then the second step is you got to have a vision. See, vision allows you to see beyond your circumstances. I'm not concerned about where you are. I'm only concerned about who you can become. And who you can become, wow, you have the best opportunity in the world because you have access to technology. And now AI, to create whatever you want based on what you can see and what you believe that's possible for you. All over the world. Couldn't have a better opportunity than today to live. Third step, you got to have a plan. You got to be able to organize it, lay it out, prioritize it, build it. You got 50,000 thoughts going through your mind every single day. You got to be able to set goals and focus. So you visualize out here who you want to become, and then you build backwards. Everyone is equal because everybody has 24 hours. Question is, what are you doing with your time? Fourth step, master the rules of the road, your guiding principles. Wow, you got to work hard. Hard to work hard if you hate what you do. You got to be able to create trust and a value system tied to your vision of who you want to become. Fifth step, step into the outer limits, overcoming your fears. What are your barriers to success? What holds you back? Sixth step, pilot the seasons to change. It's not so much what happens to you, but how you respond to it. We're going through a lot of changes today in our world. What is your capacity to deal with change? How strong are you? Only the strong survive. Step 7, build your dream team. You got to have a team. You got a beautiful team. You got an alumni. You're part of an alumni system now. You know, you have access to friends and family and community. Your team is always predicated on how strong or weak you are as a person. Strong leader attracts a strong team. Weak leader attracts a weak team. Step 8, win by decision, one of my favorite steps. The thing I learned that changed my life is I learned how to take information and make it relevant to my development every single day. Everything I read, everything I organize, everything I learn. I learned how to learn. I learned how to apply information to what I love, to my talents, to my skills, to my purpose in life. And I made everything relevant to my personal and professional development. And everybody has the same opportunity because the process of success is the same. The value that you give yourself is the value the world gives you. The world sees you as you see yourself. Last step, you got to make a commitment. Commit to your vision, ladies and gentlemen. And it's tough sometimes to commit to your vision because people, will hate you. They will talk about you. They try to make you small. I'm going to end this with this book called The Race by D. Groberg, and this guy's having a tough day. He starts to hang his head in front of failure's face, and his downward fall is beaten by the story of this race. The world's telling him to quit, give up. You're beaten, they shout at me and plead. You're not a failure when you fall down. You're only a failure when you don't get back up. He starts to hang his head in front of failure's face, and his downward fall is broken by, he remembers this race. And hope refills his weakened will as he recalls that scene. For just the thought of that short race, it kind of rejuvenates his being. It's a children's race. Young boys, young men, how he remembered, well, excitement, sure, but also fear. It wasn't hard to tell. See, they all lined up, so full of hope. Each thought to win that race, or tie for first, if not that, at least take second place. And fathers watched from off the side, each cheering for his son. And each boy hoped to show his dad that he would be the one. The whistle blew and off they went, young hearts and hopes afire. To win and be the hero there was each young boy's desire. And one boy in particular, whose dad was in the crowd, was running near the lead. He says, "My dad is going to be so proud." But as they sped down the field across the shallow dip, a little boy who thought to win, he kind of lost his step and slipped. Trying hard to catch himself, his hands flew out to brace, but amid the laughter of the crowd, he fell flat on his face. So down he fell, and with him hope, he couldn't win it now. Embarrassed, sad, he only wished to kind of disappear somehow. But as he fell, his dad stood up and showed his anxious face, which to the boy so clearly said, "Get up and win the race." He quickly rose, no damage done, behind a bit, that's all, and ran with all his mind and might to make up for his fall. So anxious to restore himself to catch up in the wind, his mind went faster than his legs. Guess what, y'all? He slipped and fell again. He wished that he had quit before with only one disgrace. "I'm hopeless as a runner now. I shouldn't try to race." But in the laughing crowd he searched, and he found his father's face. That steady look which said again, "Get up and win the race." So he jumped up to try again, 10 yards behind the last. If I'm to gain those yards, he thought, I've got to move real fast. Exerting everything he had, he regained 8 or 10, but trying so hard to catch the lead, guess what, y'all? He slipped and fell again. Defeat, he laid there silently, a tear dropped from his eye. There's no sense running anymore. 3 strikes, I'm out. Why try? The will to rise had disappeared. All hope had fled away, so far behind, so error-prone. A loser all the way. I've lost, so what's the use? He thought, I'll live with my disgrace. But then he thought about his dad he'll soon have to face. Get up, an echo sounded low. Get up and take your place. You were not meant for failure here. Get up and win the race. With borrow will, get up and said, you haven't lost at all, for winning is no more than this, to rise each time you fall. So up he rose to run once more. With a new commit, he resolved that win or lose, at least he wouldn't quit. So far behind the others now, the most he's ever been, still he gave it all he had and ran as though to win. 3 times he's fallen stumbling. 3 times he rose again, too far behind the hope to win. But he still ran to the end. They cheered the winning runner as he crossed the line first place, head high and proud, no falling, no disgrace. But when the falling youngster crossed the line last place, the crowd gave him the greater cheer for finishing the race. And even though he came in last with head bowed low and proud, you would have thought he won the race to listen to the crowd. And to his dad, he sadly says, he said, Dad, I didn't do too well. To me, you won. His father said, you rose each time you fell. So now when things seem dark and hard and difficult to face, the memory of that little boy, it helps me in my race. For all of life is like that race, with ups and downs and all. And all you have to do to win class of 2025 is rise each time you fall. Y'all keep rising.
Okay. All right, so thank you, Mr. Graham. This was really kind of very inspirational. Okay, graduates, now is the time. We will now proceed to the conferral of all degrees, and we'll begin with the Associate of Science degree. Will the associate degree candidates please stand? Associate of Science degree. Please stand. Keep standing, please. On behalf of the faculty, it is my honor and privilege to present to you the candidates for the degree of Associate of Science. I attest to you that they have completed all of the requirements for the degree they will receive today. Some music supposed to start. Therefore, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, the faculty, and staff of University of the Potomac, I wish to extend to you my congratulations on completing the requirements of the Associate of Science degree, awarded to you on this day, the 28th of June, 2025. By authority vested in me, I bestow upon you the degree of Associate of Science with all of the rights and privileges inherent therein. Graduates, please proceed to the stage for the awarding of your degrees as Vice President of the University, Rafael Salazar, calls your name. Music. Proceed to the degree.
Jocelyn Amaya. Tania Argudo. María Andreina Barreto Moreno. Jessica Benítez Cruz. Carixa Castillo. Glenda Céspedes. Alba Chávez. Otha Collier. Cinia Contreras. Ana Dahl. Michelle Day. Aracelis de León. Inmaculada Fierro. María Fuentes Díaz. Adrian Gaino. Norma Galvez. Cindy García. Jacqueline Gómez Rodríguez. Deshaun Green. Esther Grulon. Aline Hernández Arriaga. Paola Hernández Arriaga. Francisca Hernández de Sánchez. María Cristina Hernández Mejía. Alma Jiménez López. Tiana Lawrence. Ariana Mann. Juana Ríos Guevara. Catherine Martínez. Trinidad Montoya de García. Scarlett Osuna Nieves de Robbins. Mariela Pérez de Abreu. Mayra Pérez Hernández. Marisol Pertus Díaz. Niurka Polanco. Edith Rodríguez. Sandra Rodríguez. Danielle Royal. María Santos. Carla Sosa Hernández. Nancy Tirado. Margarita Torres. Cristal Valentín. Jennifer Valenzuela. Sonia Vargas Bardales.
Thank you, associate degree candidates. You may be seated now. Congrats. Whoa. We will now proceed to the conferral of the Bachelor of Science degree. Will the Bachelor of Science candidates please stand? On behalf of the faculty, it is my honor and privilege to present to you these candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Science. I attest to you that they have completed all the requirements of the degree they will receive today. Therefore, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, the faculty and staff of University of the Potomac, I wish to extend to you my congratulations on completing the requirements for the Bachelor of Science degree awarded to you on this day, the 28th of June, 2025. By the authority vested in me, I bestow upon the degree of Bachelor of Science with all the rights and privileges inherent within. Graduates, please proceed to the stage for the awarding of your degrees as Professor Cicely Allen calls your name.
Rajiv Adams. Anib Ali. Armalbold Antakuhag. Uyanga Bat Erdine. Tamika Benjamin. Biam Bersurin. Veronica Fuentes Ardon. Mercedes Garcia Carrera. Mawanata Goring. Hika Gutaman. Lena Hesuni. I'm sorry, Tanya King. Kat Nola. Ana Lopez. Jasmine Lopez Gonzalez. Rajmi Mahajan. Anna Martinez. Carmen Mejia Ayala. Obadullah Amir Mohammed. Johanna Nupani. Chloe Osiro. Digna Palacios. Yashpreet Ranhawa. Rikin Patel. Teresa Romero. Ferdas Siddiqov. Idrissa Salifou. Amandeep Singh. Sherelle Strickland. Luis Suarez. Swayam Shah. Derek Thomas. Alberto Oquizo Tutana. Hortensia Vargas Bardales. Jar Vork. Crystal Watson. Saira Sabika Sahara Zaidi.
Thank you, bachelor degree graduates. Oh, sorry. No, thank you for now.
And your valedictorian, Alberto Cochado.
That's it, right? For bachelor, yeah. Thank you, bachelor degree graduates. You may be seated now. Now let's proceed to the conferral of the master's degree. Will the master candidates please stand? Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. So, on behalf of the faculty, it is my honor and privilege to present to you the candidates for the degrees of masters. I attest to you that they have completed all the requirements for the degree they will receive today. Therefore, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, the faculty and staff of University of the Potomac, I wish to extend to you my congratulations on completing the requirements for the master's degree awarded to you on this day, the 28th of June, 2025. By the authority vested to me, I bestow upon you the degree of master's with all the rights and privileges inherent therein. Okay, graduates, please proceed to the stage for the awarding of your degree as Doctors Eli Ahmed Talba and Dr. Lana call your name. Who is talking? And who is talking? What is the sound? Someone is talking.
Eddie Martinit. Sadim Sharika White. Jockway Thomas. Achit Ahikari. Fusain Abubakari. Jitendra Abure. Mujib Abbasi. Ayub Agadi. Andrews Ayao Minka. Khalid Al-Suri. Jafar Alogali. Nuritza Alibekova. Tamjid Ahmed. Mary Aderemi. Bismarck Adu. Ayoel Berhe. Anara Bekbalat Keze. Richa Batra. Durenbar Bat Gerel. Sepideh Basirat. Isabella Cristina Barros Pereira. Ishua Atrer. Zaid Ar-Rashid. Caleb Opoko Mensah. Sorry. Buyan Heshik Davainam. Amanda Kutros. Candidato CC. I will try. Leonard Chukwugishe Miha. Snehi Christian. Shripal Singh Chavda. Aman Charania. Kashif Fayaz. Kanmisola Falala. Arianzal and Taiwan. Cincha dos Santos Alves. Mayra Dominguez de Ramirez. Estu Juf. Monique de Silva. Anmol Ejas. Darlington Equati. Malik Atwati.
Bashar Fatul. Chagel Tantangagwa. Isaac Gapaldas. Barbara Guzmão. Mega Gore. Aryan Beleg Gambo. Jamie Feliciano. Alban Jazz. Saran Hussain. Muhammad Riyad Hussein. Hatim Hatim. Saeed Hanif. Hossam Hagag. Haiman Gurong. Raiso Gunung. Ayub Gizani. Kenzom Lama. Ramala Lama. Chorna Kumali Kalka. Margarita Kalativa. Nantawari Kalakselmo. Karden Choya Khokhon. Bayama Khanga. Mohammed Abid Khan. Nazir Kalkabozova. Abhishek Karna. Emmanuel Ngusi. Dorcas Monaco. Arwad Mohammed. Melody Miller. N.T. Maxwell. Fadi Mansunari. Fadi Mansouri. Mariwa Nima Gasper. Mahwesh Malik. Sadaniel Lama. Sonam Patek. Jalpa Patel. Savi Patel. Kushnabin Patel. Hitabin Patel. Yug Patel. Ondra Oyembater. Marie Ogbemeliberu. Bamdidele Omamwale. Antonia Olaleme. Jai Soni. Raj Shwesta. Walid Shatnawi. Ved Shastri. Shah Sorab. Disha Shah. Sana Tahir. Marta Salazar Bandar. Moshfiqur Rahman. Sue Pierre. Oluizio Perrero Damasceno. Carlo Villanueva. Kenjal Vihol. Praveen Venkatesh. Leila Vayani. Naeem Vohara. Lynch Fran. Jarvis Petrova. Shruti Tawar. Jamila Tashpalatova. Aisha Saida. Ahmed Subaidi. Kabir Zahardin. Mirakla Patrick. Amendi Ipanga. Jargal Lafsanjat. Sarol Batitacht. Chow Chow. Ijerin Jarova. Dorota Zions. Abu Yusuf. Aman Bharadwaj. Amir Sanjit Hussain from Bangladesh. Swarti Gaur Parara. It was a long one. Thank you, master degree graduates. You might be seated now. Congrats again. Okay, we will now proceed to the conferral of the doctoral degrees. Will the doctoral candidates please stand? On behalf of the faculty, it is my honor and privilege to present to you these candidates for the doctoral degree. I attest to you that they have completed all the requirements for the degree they will receive today. Therefore, on behalf of the Board of Trustees, the faculty and staff of University of the Potomac, I wish to extend to you my congratulations on completing the requirements for the doctoral degree awarded to you on this day, the 28th of June, 2025. By the authority vested in me, I bestow upon you the degree of doctor with all of the rights and privileges inherent therein. Dr. Tolliver and Dr. Skelton will join me on the stage to transition these doctoral candidates to doctoral status. Now, doctoral degree candidates, please proceed to the stage for the awarding of your degrees. As Dr. Yvonne Hood, call your name.
Frederick Fisher. Sarah Hummel. John Mark Hutchins. Rhonda Williams. Augustina Oguntoye.
Yes. Phew, yeah, doctoral. Long journey, kind of. Maybe I will add a couple of words from myself, kind of. Doctoral journey is a long journey. I was looking at one doctoral degree candidate who became a doctor today. How long? 12? For 14 years, 14 years. Congrats, doctoral. Thank you. Doctoral degree graduates, you may be seated.
Will all of our graduates please stand? In recognition of the completion of the requirements for your degrees, I would like our graduates to move their tassels from right to left, which symbolizes your significant accomplishments. Please turn and face the audience. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the 2025 graduates of University of the Potomac. You may turn around now. I know. Graduates, as important members of our community, we want you to be active contributors in the future success of our institution. Let me express to our graduates that as you conclude your educational experience at University of the Potomac or level up and prepare to face life's future challenges, the Board of Trustees, faculty, staff, and alumni take great pride in knowing that you will successfully manage these challenges with the same level, commitment, and success you have demonstrated during your years at Potomac. We wish you much success in the future, and we are confident that your Potomac education will serve you well as you continue to provide important value-added leadership that will benefit your family, your community, your country, and our global society. May success follow you all of the days of your lives. And today we honor you for a job well done. This concludes our 2025 graduation ceremony. At this time, we will ask all guests and graduates to remain standing while the faculty exit, followed by all guests. Graduates will remain in the auditorium, right here, for your 2025 class photo. Go be great. Thank you.
Congratulations.